Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous and Elite Dangerous Horizons. If you've had the money to go and buy yourself a fleet carrier, then you'll know it's been a bit lacking on the interior department. However, Frontier Developments announced during Update 8 that the fleet carriers were going to be getting their own interiors. And as a result, we found a way, as did other commanders on the internet, to gain access to what Frontier Developments has already put in-game. There's a little method to get in there, but once you're in there you can have a good old nose about, and I'll show you how. So, fleet carrier interiors have been much anticipated, and here we are, sort of like, it looks like a bit of a theatre sort of setup, isn't there really? We've got the bridge area at the top, you've got big view screens at the front. Quite interesting to see, these windows say sealed. Well, if there wouldn't, it'd be awfully windy and you might find yourself gasping for a little bit of air. But it's quite a good view you see out of the bridge windows of your fleet carrier. You see a nice big planet, you can even hover your ship outside, which I'll show you a little bit later on. Lots of seats here, there and everywhere. It looks like they're lacking a few panels. I mean, if you think about how other sci-fi programs and Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica portray a command bridge, there's always a central seat sort of thing, and then lots of other seats with different panels. This is very early on and all subject to change, no doubt, but there's a main panel at the front here that's using an awful lot of the existing artifacts and screens that we've seen at the settlements. Like we've certainly, and bases, we've certainly seen this rotating orb sort of affair. You've got very sort of, looks like touch-sensitive QWERTY keyboards on either side, and those very nice tactile flick-up switches as well, which I think are really good and just ooze sci-fi. And you've also got a few little screens as well that are flashing through different parts of different areas. Looking around, you've got quite a few of these sort of mezzanine floors, and over up and to the left, facing into the bridge, there's another sort of a station, could be a science station. Again, always good to see that even in the future, people are using a good old QWERTY keyboard. But we've seen these graphics before on different panels here, there and everywhere. But there is a level of reusability, which I think is great. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Nice big panel here depicting a fleet carrier. It just so happens to be the configuration of the fleet carrier that I have in its Nautilus configuration. And it's also got my fleet carrier code on there as well. And you can see this was taken with today's date, 12th of December. Moving on now, we've got some sort of like Captain's Ready Room. You've seen it on Star Trek, you know what I'm talking about. The little ante-room off the bridge where the captain can have a quick 5 minutes, cup of tea, all that sort of stuff, and give his people a good old dressing down. Nice big viewport, a potted plant, again a few panels, and a good old coffee machine. Though I dare say it won't be giving you any tea Earl Grey hot. Nice reflection as well, I noticed on the screen outside. And what I did notice, if you stand too close to the windows and you've got a little bit of forward momentum, say with your throttles, you will get sucked outside some of the windows. And I found myself outside quite a few times. So again, lots of reusability on some of the screens as well, which is great. Another quick look at the bridge from the back. You can see it's got a good field and scope of view. And these three chairs here, it just says to me they need some sort of a console in front of it. We've got a lift going down, although we couldn't clip into this with the camera, unfortunately. But it does go to another lift shaft a little bit further on down as we get through this under tunnel. So under this sort of mezzanine floor, we've got a tunnel that comes up round to the back. You'll see we've got the elevator. There it is. And then you've got some escape pods to your left and right. Now, if things get a bit darker when you do this, you can always park your ship in front of the bridge, turn your lights on, and that'll illuminate inside of the map. You can see it's got very dark here as well, you know. So here we're going into the shipyard area, ship purchasing, which I've also got attached to my carrier. There's an orca spinning, and there's a good window as well. And through that window, you can just make out like a Condor fighter. When we get a little bit closer, you can see there's definitely a fighter in there as well. Some people say they've had other ships. That seems like SLF, sort of light fighter sort of thing that's been parked in this little sort of sub-hangar as well. So some really good stuff, some good reflections as well. So far, I'm really enjoying it. Now you can clip through that window, but clipping back is a bit of a problem. I had to go and reset my camera and then get back into the bridge area and then continue my tour. So if you get stuck there, don't worry, just clip back out. You can get back in through the windows. You'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. I've gone and got my ship and parked it outside the viewport of the bridge and turned its lights on. And this has flooded the entire compartment with light. Now it makes it a little bit easier to see what's going on, because a lot of the ship was shrouded in darkness. If you go to the right, you'll see these angled panels. And it was said to me on a stream by Commander Simon, good friend of mine and co-streamer, that by putting the lights on, you can then get into Vista Genomics, go through those angled panels and see what was going on. So it gives you a little bit of a sense of being behind the curtain of what, you know, Frontier Developments are trying to do. And this is great. You know, you can really see the detail. They have done a lot of work on this, but like I say, it's all subject to change. And you can clip back through the walls. As you can see, all the corridors are nicely illuminated now. And we've got some more of these angled panels which show different sections of the ship. Going through here, we've got the typical outfitters, Pioneer supplies, got guns hanging on the walls, suits hanging up. So these will feature nicely in your fleet carrier. All good stuff. Don't exactly know what that is. It does look like a bit of a rotisserie chicken, bull in the bag, that sort of thing. Anyway, moving back on, we'll go to the next section. Straight across, we've got a terminal there on the right-hand side. Towards the back, we've got two elevators. We don't know where these elevators go to. Hopefully hangar bays, but you never know. We weren't able to clip through them either. So next up, we got into the bar/communal area through the next opposite or adjacent sort of slotted door or panel. Lots of pink light, what looks like to be the good old ice cream machines from Pizza Hut have made their way into Elite Dangerous, and also a 4-ring convection hob. Just to know that things that haven't changed that much by cooking things in space. So we've got some trays and some benches. We've got a bar over that side with sort of magenta and blue sort of liquid. Could even be a slushy, you just never know. And this is one of the two bars that are over there in this particular room. So having a look round, chairs, seating areas, tables, nice viewport, a screen. And it would be quite good that if on this screen, any screenshots that you'd saved from Elite Dangerous or Elite Dangerous Odyssey would be displayed, as opposed to the standard old advertising that you get from the ships. That would be a nice little touch. And somewhere you could come and go and sort of like show off your exploits, as opposed to having, you know, the good old advertising that you get everywhere else. Seeing that though, there's another bar over to the left hand side. Sort of more traditional alcoholic optic sort of affair going on as well. So two bars, one could be for soft drinks, one could be for the harder stuff. All the fridges are empty, and this is a very early on. I don't know how people have found this, but it's obvious that we're really not to be in here. But it does give you a damn good glimpse of what Frontier are working on, and I think this goes a long way to show, you know, how much hard work is going on behind the scenes. Next up, our ship in the hangar, and we were able to clip around into different areas of the hangar. This little antechamber, sort of like departures lounge sort of affair off over to one side, which you could have a good look round and have a good nose about inside. Getting to clip in through these walls does take a little bit of trial and error. I failed quite a few times. I was able to clip through but couldn't get through the glass. So I had to go reorientate myself, find the bridge on front of my fleet carrier. You're looking for these sort of panels by here, these sort of 3 windows. Head to the left corner of said window. You'll see now, here I go, you can just clip in there, slow the speed of your camera down. And the best way I found of was going right to the bottom of this window and just gently edging your way through. Trying to force it for me didn't work. I just was able to get to the bottom, follow the seam of the window through, and it just takes you through. Simple like that. Well, it seems simple, but it really wasn't. It took me 3 or 4 goes, but in the end, I was able to do it. Nice and easy. Don't get so excited because you can see it. Oh, I can see it inside. I can see it inside. Go to the bottom left-hand corner. Slightly edge your way forward. If you've got a throttle, just nudge it forward so you just start to ease your way through, and you'll be through and into your fleet carrier interior. And you can have a good old explore yourself. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Ricardo. This has been a quick look round Frontier's initial look at what fleet carriers interiors are going to be. All subject to change, and it was a big bit of a spoiler alert as well, I suppose. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed having a look round and making it, and I'll see you soon.